All right, so yeah, welcome back to Alliance Ward Season 40 War 5. For Loki are facing DSVG. We're friendly with these folks, so just another disappointing war for me, so I apologize in advance if my commentary is less than enthusiastic. I'll be switching up the team this war. I'll keep Carl because I need to have a reminder every war of my death in the first war of the season. I'll be bringing Void for one particular fight and then Herc to clean up the rest. Originally, I was going to be bringing Mags instead of Herc, but I made a slight oversight in planning. I needed to pick up a fight, which I did not want to do because I've been awful all frickin' season. But if I have to pick up a fight, I need to pick it up with Herc. And so I'll just muscle through Path 7A with Herc. Valk is a global defender. She's also metal, so Mags would have been great, as would DragonMan on 16, but instead I'm just going to muscle it with Herc. So there I get the spacing right, so I get the stand-up heavy, and I also do the intercept. So I start the fight pretty well. I forget about the reverb being triggered by the node, so I take some unnecessary damage here, and then I'm going to eat a couple mediums to the face when I get intercepted, and I'll just go ahead and add a little bit of a heavy by fail to dex properly there. So that now I have a nicely spiced dish for you, so I can finish the rest of the fight relatively clean. Yeah, Herc's fine. I mean, he's a monster, and any opportunity that you have to use him once every 3 seasons, you probably should, because he's great. Get a little intercept here. You'll notice I'm not doing small combos to place the Infuriate, and that's just because I didn't remember mid-fight what causes her to shrug, cleanse, glance, and I didn't want that interacting with the node and giving me even more reverb damage, so I figured, well, I'll just slow play it, like I'm going to do in some other fights as well, this particular war. So this is like the slow, safe version of Herc. And it works fine, because she's dead. So we have a rare fight this season with a full attack bonus. Go me. Next up, we'll do this DragonMan that we always see on node 16. The reason he's always on node 16 is because when he's armor broken, he degens you, and this particular node, if you knock him down, he gets an armor break debuff. So when you assign people here, you always say, hey, don't knock the dude down. Mags is great because you just build the special 3 and nuke him with the special 3. I don't have Mags. I considered doing this fight with Void for about 3 seconds, but the one thing I know is that Herc can do this fight very safely by finishing, and even probably finish with a full yellow bar, as long as you do a couple things. One, you parry when the power gain buff is up right there. Power charge. Oh, nice resist. Way to stand your ground, Herc. To remove that power gain buff by either parrying or taking specials on the block. I did consider eating this special 1 right here to the face just to get the extra feat of strength, but that seemed unnecessary in terms of the fight moving forward. I'm in a good spot. I'm clearly winning the health bar race, and as long as I don't do anything drastically stupid, I should be fine. And hey, that's always the mystery and the tension in a clown fight, right? Am I going to do something stupid to completely embarrass myself and cost my alliance? Not this time. So look at that, 2 fights in a row without a death. Holy cow. That's a whole new clown. Next up, we got this fight here on node 22, Terrax. I'll be doing it with Carl and, of course, Magma, because I need to remind myself how stupid I was back in War 1 by insisting to do it with Uru. It's so much easier in Magma. He's obviously Incinerate immune, but even though he's not shock immune in Magma, he has a plus 9,000 energy resistance, so the shocks that I'm getting from the hazard shift don't do any damage. So this is a super easy fight. You should always fight Terrax in Magma, and I will continue to punish myself by reliving my War 1 stupidity every war. Now we move on to this war's embarrassing clown fight, adding another chapter into a horrific season. This is node 46. I've done this fight a dozen times. When I was in SSX, I always used Void. Well, I used Omega a couple times, and I hated it, and I made those guys let me use Void for the fight because it's just so much more comfortable for me to use Void. And I screw it up. Yeah, I screw it up. I do a poor job of managing his rock stacks, and I back myself up into the corner, which is never where you want to be with Thing. For whatever reason, his AI, when you back up into a corner, it gets super aggressive, like you're fighting a freaking Korg or a Mysterio or something like that, and he just never backs up. And so I'm in there trying to block hits and dex heavies. I'm like 50-50 on dex and his heavies. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. And I'm just like, holy hell. Let me panic throw an SB1 here to try and get some distance, or at least take away some rock stacks. And he finally backs up, and I'm able to control the map. He then very helpfully throws a special one to reset his counter. So now I can actually do the fight. And at this point in the fight, my memory is that I'm like, okay, I got this. I've now gotten past my early troubles. I've sort of gotten back to where I need to be. And all I got to do is just not fuck up again. And so, yeah, he throws a special, resetting the rock stack counter. I do a full combo since my damage is up because of Fear of the Void into the special one. And I back off here. And I really should not have backed off there. Because now he's at 13. I should have pushed him all the way to 15 like a dumbass. I didn't do it. And I'm hoping against hope here that I don't get killed by block penetration. One more, and oh, nope. You see, the second Fear the Void triggered. If it hadn't triggered there, if I had just had another second, I would have killed him. But by it triggering, it took off all of the debuffs, so there was no more Void damage. And he was left at 1,600 health. I almost got out of that one. I didn't deserve it. I deserved the death because I played like absolute garbage. But I almost got out of it and failed. So this was the fight here that I had to pick up. It's Apocalypse on node 51, which is the Conflictor node. Basically, the only thing you don't want to do is what I just did there. Just put an Infuriate on Apoc. That was really just muscle memory, coming at me. Because that's the only real debuff that Herc can trigger against Apoc here. I fought a couple other Apocs this season with Herc. He's a global defender, so you just want to hit block to remove the flourishes. Otherwise, Herc is super safe, and I'll get through this fight fine. It's just disappointing that yet another war where I have a couple fights that I play okay, but I still make a bunch of dumb mistakes in one fight and die. That's sort of been the story of this season. I've had only one clean sheet. Actually, I've had 2 clean sheets, yeah, and 4 deaths in the other 3 wars. It's just abysmal, and it makes me feel bad because it's not where I want to be. It's not the kind of teammate I want to be for the rest of my friends in 4 Loki, and so it's just wearing on me a little bit. But hopefully, if I keep paring my fights down as best as I can, giving myself Herc matchups where I have a better than average chance of survival thanks to his immortality, maybe I can turn this thing around. I don't know. As I do this commentary, we're losing to DSVG in no small part thanks to me. We'll see if they're able to finish the map cleanly or if they have a clown on their side as well. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Life Check.